And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a show about shows number 36, Golden Statues.
Invade Hollywood.
Oh, did you add a little subtitle to it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just joking when you said that. I didn't realize.
No, okay.
Ah, you had your chance.
I know.
Of course, this is JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens, joined by my main man.
Dutch, the McAllister.
The McAllister there?
Yeah, it's just Dutch McAllister, but still.
So we're here in the Pierce Production studio. That's why you will not see our pretty faces. But there is... Dutch is playing with action figures. Fun fact for you.
Fun fact.
And, but we got a fun show for you today. We've got a couple of movie reviews for you, some news and notables, and also we're going to be talking about them Oscars.
Oscars. Who's going to win it? Who's going to cry? Who's going to say, thank God I don't have to make a speech, and then, maybe sneak out early and get a burger or something.
And also, men suck.
What?
I don't know, right? No?
Well, also, don't forget, we're going to be talking about Eminem's brand new album. What is it called again? Gosh, I just went blank. You're the one who brought it up. Songs to be Murdered by Eminem. We're going to talk about that.
Review.
We're going to have a music review before we do the Oscar talk. So it's it's a little bit different. It's a little fun. You brought up the Eminem album to me. I couldn't help but rush out and listen to it as soon as you told me about it.
I was surprised by that. I did not think you were going to listen.
I listened to him. I liked Kamikaze. I liked that.
Oh, okay.
Was what, last year or the year before?
I believe it was last year, so I think you cranked one out a year later.
So it's pretty good. He surprised everybody with this one. So that's what this one is. And it's already got some controversy. We'll talk a little bit about that too as well. But
Eminem? Controversy? No.
I never heard of such a thing.
Well, I think we should just open up with a movie review. It's a movie about us.
Yes.
Bad Boys for Life.
Yes, for life. Not just for a minute, but for life.
You want to do this, or am I taking
You're
this?
opening, man. You got it.
Alright, so the Bad Boys Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett are back together for one last ride. That's all you need to know. Explosions. This one stars Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Vanessa Hudgens, Charles Melton, Alexander Ludwig, Joe Pantoliano, Paulo Nunez, Jacob Scripo, and Kate Del Castillo.
And there was a few others, but there was just so many.
That's enough. Who else are you going to mention?
Yeah, well, Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Well, hey, that's a spoiler.
He did show up.
Did not direct this, but he did actually pop up in this.
Yeah.
And also Teresa Randall, who has returned as Mike Lowry's wife.
Yes.
She's been in, I think, all three, right?
Yeah. She's been around. I just didn't put her in because, I'm just that way.
Yeah. So what did you think, man? Did you have any fun with this? Was this unnecessary?
I went in it as always. You always go in with any type of sequel this far out. It's been a long time since the last time we've been together with Mike and Marcus. And I don't know how many years it was, over a decade at least. And I'm sitting here.
And those sequels are nicely stretched apart. 95, 03, and 2020.
Yeah. So you got about 17 years in between. And so, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, lowest common denominator, it's bearable. I was actually, because you go in there with that type of feeling, right? When be honest. I found it fun. It was refreshing. It had some moments. It had some good key moments. Had a nice... I figured out what was going to happen toward the end, because it is still a paint-by-numbers type procedural. But I did like the idea that they brought in some new characters, some fresh blood. Vanessa Hudgens, as we say, Charles Melton, Alexander Ludwig are some of the new ones that they've brought in. And they became a task force called Ammo, which I didn't really care for the name Ammo much for that task force, but I thought...
What would you have called them?
I just don't know. I just seemed kind of stupid. We're going to go to Ammo for this. I'm like, well, are they buying ammo? What's going on? I didn't understand what they were talking about at first.
Okay, nitpicking.
Yeah, but that's just me. But I enjoyed it. It's not like it's not like a 5-star. I'm not going to tell you anything more about that because I want to hear what you say, but I thought it was just a fun rekindling of friendships and possible future friendships if we might have some.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think for the large part here, we're connected with these two. There's chemistry between these two. That's why a lot of people wanted another one for so long. I know my brother was a big fan of them. Some say the second one's better than the first one.
Yes.
You think so?
I will have to agree with that.
I'm not sure. It's probably funnier. And it's probably shot better, but I don't know. But it starts to get off the walls just a little bit, in my opinion. But no, this one's fun. There's some good comedic moments from the get-go. yeah, I had fun. I think it gets bogged down a little bit towards that end, and I didn't
Yeah.
like exactly where they were going with it. I didn't like all the destinations that they reached. But
Yes.
yeah, I think especially too for a January film, kind of like Underwater, this actually maybe met if not surpassed my expectations.
Yeah, for a January film, usually for ho humness, this one actually was like a blockbuster for January. You know, and we'll talk more probably about it when we do the news roundup with you. But I would give this a good 3.5 snowflakes. I think that's very warranted for this film. 3.5.
I gotta go a little bit below you. I gotta go 3. I can't give it more than a 3. Like you said, there's nothing too special here, and like I said, I didn't quite enjoy. Well, the villains, I thought it was. I'm very mixed on the villains here to say.
Yeah, because
the
we can't
least.
really go into detail.
Yeah, I don't want to
before
go
we
too
spoil
spoilery
stuff.
for here.
But-
I enjoyed seeing Joe Pantoliano back as well. Like, he's a great character actor, and
Yeah.
that was actually someone that I would have been very upset if he wasn't in this. Actually,
Yeah.
So glad to see him back. So yeah, it's a fun time. If you're a fan of the first two, as I've said to other people, definitely check it out. I think this won't really disappoint.
No.
It might easily be the third in the series,
Yeah.
but it's not a far distant third.
No, I agree. So you gave it 3, I gave it 3.5. So we're not too far off. The next movie we may be far off on.
Oh, really now?
Is Doolittle. Dr. John Doolittle lives in in solitude behind the high walls of his lush manor in 19th century England. His only companionship comes from an array of exotic animals that he speaks to on a daily basis, but when young Queen Victoria becomes gravely ill, the eccentric doctor and his furry friends embark on an epic adventure to a mythical island to find a cure. This stars Robert Downey Jr., Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, Harry Collette, voices of John Cena, Tom Holland, Emma Thompson, Camille Najahaji,
Nanjiani, come on, he's a
Nanjiani.
big star now.
I still can't get it, and I'll never probably will. Octavia Spencer, Craig Robinson, Celine Gomez, and Rafe Fiennes. And I gotta tell you, they really reached hard for me. I mean, they really tried for moments in this film. I think the only person who I thought was in a different movie than everyone else was Antonio Banderas to a point. He was only in it briefly, but he thought he was in more of an action type thriller type, show. To me, it seemed as if Robert Downey Jr. phoned in his accent, phoned in the performance.
What even was that accent?
It was a
though?
Scottish accent.
Is that what he's going
that's
for?
That's what it sounded like he was
'Cause
going for.
First
Because
person I've heard say that, because I didn't know. I didn't pick up on
flows in
that.
and out. It ebbs
Yeah.
and flows to English to
Definitely.
Scottish, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, what in the world's going on? You can't fault any of the voice talent because John Cena did a great job as the polar bear. And Emma Thompson.
You know who you skipped? Rami Malek.
Oh, Rami Malek. Yes, I'm sorry. Was he the tiger?
No, he's
that
the
was Ralph
monkey.
Fiennes.
He's the ape.
Yeah, okay. Barry.
Sure. Good for you for remembering the name. Holy shit, I don't remember the names of these
I'm
people.
bad with names. I apologize to Rami Malek for that. But yeah, you got Tom Holland who played the dog. Polly was Emma Thompson. So, you had great voice acting, but again, the movie was kind of really thin. It felt kind of rushed into what it needed to do. Yes, they had to have a reason for him to come out of hiding.
And I believe this has been delayed a couple times, so it's funny that you say it's rushed, because it feels like, I think it was one of those movies that never found its footing.
Well, the worst part is if you actually went through it, this is, I think, Robert Downey's, one of his productions. From his production studio, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't The Judge also one of them?
Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't know, so maybe he should...
The Judge, soloist. Maybe he should stick to the third, man.
Yeah, he thought this would be a good cash grab, but unfortunately I think
That's how we'll go find them gemstones.
pockets are going to be empty to come to the theater for him. So what else did you think about this film? I mean, how did you feel?
I loved it. No. No, again, I feel like
You brought your niece?
my sentiments are going to be similar. I brought my niece. I know my brother actually brought his, so 2 of my nieces have seen it. They both liked it. I do feel, as far as just kind of eye candy and a throwaway afternoon, they're going to be fine with it, but it's definitely going to lose the adults, because this thing is just, it's not very funny. It's not very even a good action piece.
No, there's no time that I felt anybody was in peril.
The characters are all one note. The Rami Malek joke, the
Michael Sheen character.
You know, Michael Sheen. You know, even Banderas. You know, I don't really know what Downey Jr. is going for here. I enjoyed the animated opening. I wish it had stayed there.
Yes, I was actually okay with the opening for that too. The story.
This thing, it was just one of those movies where, like, probably the first 5 minutes I'm smiling, 10 minutes it's fading, half an hour it's fading, and I'm ready. I was ready for this to wrap up.
Well, I found it fascinating. Okay, your niece is how old? About 5 or 6 or something, right?
Yeah, they're both in the five, and the other one might be 6.
There was some in our area as well. Mm-hmm. And I was because you can always want to see what those kids are doing. Are they fidgeting? Are they moving around? One kid actually got up in the middle of the film and asked his mom if he could go home. You know, and she goes, "No, we're watching the movie. Your sister's enjoying it." And she goes, "Meh." You know, so I don't know. It's a hit and miss, I think, even for them at this point. Because, like you said, the pace wasn't there. When it should have been more exciting, it kind of drew back a little bit. It drew his punches whenever it should have probably been throwing haymakers, but they never did. They never made it fun.
Nah.
Craig Robinson's character as the squirrel was the only thing that made me kind of chuckle.
And even that, I don't know. Even that, I really fell flat sometimes, especially towards the end, where it was the same. That
was Kevin.
One note.
Kevin the squirrel.
God, wow, dude! Congratulations! I don't remember these.
Kevin the squirrel.
These damn character names. Actually, it's funny. I was talking about expectations before, and somehow this went below expectations, and I didn't have high to begin with because the trailers didn't do much for me.
Correct.
But the movie itself also.
Yeah. So what are you going to give this debacle?
I'm floating between two scores here. Because I almost I don't want to put it in the same cat.
You're gonna have to.
1.5.
See, I.
It'd be nice to say 2.
I want to say 2.
I want to say 2 too,
but I don't want to say 2 because it just makes me pain because it offends all the other 2s that I'm going to probably give.
Well, that was my interpretation of 1.5 because I feel like it's probably one of the better 1.5s.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
and I've given a half a snowflake. I'm gonna go with the 1.5 on this one as well because it does not make sense to me. Why would I give it a 2? Because I'm being nice. I was already nice enough this year with the Boss movie, Like a Boss. I gave that a 2 stars. So I'm kind of.
I see. I would recommend this over that.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I was nice one night. I must have been high or something. I don't know. The next movie I'm gonna go over real quick.
Well, I don't get to introduce it.
You can introduce it. Yeah.
That's how we do the show, Jim.
Oh, is that it?
36 episodes. You still don't know how. God damn it!
I know.
I Lost My Body is the name of it. It's the story of Nofel, a young man who's in love with Gabrielle. In another part of town, a severed hand escapes from a dissection lab, determined to find its body again. I've never read this premise, but I love this premise.
Yeah.
So it's a French animated film you put down.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Tell me about it because I got nothing. I haven't seen it.
The only reason I didn't credit anybody is because it is subtitled. I couldn't understand what they were saying, so I basically decided I am my own animated voices at this point. But what it is about a young man who does fall in love with this beautiful girl in the library. They first meet by basically being a takeout pizza. He's takeout pizza, and they talk over the intercom. From that point, they don't really mesh right away. He becomes an intern at.
There is an English version.
But I like to watch things, and it's.
If you had listened to the English version, you would have heard the voices of Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire,
good.
Aaliyah Shawkat from Arrested Development, and George Wendt from your favorite show, Cheers.
So he must be the fat guy then.
The other actors, by the way, just to give them credit, Hakeem Ferris, Victoria Dubois, and Patrick D'Escomo.
Yeah, so Patrick D'Escomo.
I have no idea if I said that correctly.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's
Dubois sounds right. I've heard that.
But yeah, I was watching this and I thought, well, that is pretty neat. It's about a hand remembering his past or his the future, and it's intersecting because we find out that the hand belongs to Nofel, the young man. And we already figured this out right away, technically. You know, they don't really tell you much. The opening shot basically is of a child on the beach raising sand, and then all of a sudden they come around and there's blood all over the boards, a body laying there, and a hand just severed. Okay, and that's how it all starts. By the way, this is a nominee for Best Animated Film this year. So I watched.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Oh, I'll have to watch it. Is the English version on there?
I just went with the subtitles. You could probably change your thing to get the English version. But yeah, I did watch it. I found it interesting, but not to the point of... I'm not going to... Well, we'll talk about that later. But I just didn't find it that gripping. It's like any French film. It ends very confusingly. You know, like most French films, it's like Fiend. And you're like... So, where did we leave off? Okay, are we having a sequel? I mean, because I really need to know what happened with these two. Is he dead? Is he alive? Is she alive? Is she dead? I don't know what's going on at the end. I'm not ruining anything because I'm
I
perplexed.
lost my body too. Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, and so we'll see that one day. But, in fairness, though, I will give it a 3. It's worth watching. I just get confused with French films. I really do. I'm just going to tell you that right there. But it's a 3. The animation is beautiful. It's very kind of like a Iron Giant, but not as crisp Iron Giant type animation style, you know. But it just has that type of penciled in drawings, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, yeah, it was the French version I did listen to. You probably can't get the American audio. I just didn't attempt it. You know me and subtitles. I love anime, and I'd like to read the subtitles and with the voices of the original.
And I watch movies not to read.
Yes.
So, but this is one I'll probably check out then, because I'm trying to do a catch up as much on the Oscar movies I haven't seen. So
yeah, I'm already. Thank goodness for me. There's only actresses in some spots that I need to catch up on though. Marriage Story. We're going to revisit that.
I have almost a dozen.
Noah Baumbach's incisive and compassionate look at a marriage breaking up and a family staying together. This has Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Alan Alda, Laura Dern, Robert Smigel, Julie Haggerty, and Ray Liotta. Just to name
Smeagol from Lord of the Rings.
Well, Triumph the dog, I believe,
and Wallace Shawn.
Wallace Shawn was in there, but I just gave you a few. We already went over this once, so they could listen to the other cast members that we missed. But I did watch it. I thought it was a very good movie. The performances done by Adam Driver, his performance was unbelievable. Scarlett Johansson did a good job herself. I know she got nominated, but it wasn't...
Underplay ScarJo.
I didn't think it was that much of... Again, we'll go to that area because I have some snubs that they did that we could have replaced her with. But...
Fighting words.
I gotta tell you though, that scene that everyone talks about, the brutal scene at the end where they just start going at it before the finalization of their divorce. Very true to life. I can tell you that. I'm not going to go any further, but I could just say it was, most of those words are always said, and they're very true. And you feel that way. You just get gutted. It's almost like any type of relationship that ends, you feel gutted. And I think both of these people had that type of relationship. I think they... I don't want to spoil any parts of it, so it's kind of hard to describe how I want to take this. But I think what they did with writing it to make Adam Driver look bad was have what happened in the film. You know what I'm saying? Compared to Scarlett Jo, where you would not feel any compassion toward her at all. So I think it was kind of, at the end of the day, Adam Driver seemed to be the better person. But
I think a little bit, but I disagree. I thought he had a good counter to it.
Yeah, I'm just stating, though, they made him have one indiscretion that probably tried to tilt it to make him look like more of an asshole than Scarlett Johansson's character did. But again, both played well. I'm not saying anything bad against Scarlett, but Laura Dern's character was great. She got nominated. I don't know. Again, there's probably others. Ray Liotta was fabulous, and his little slime ball lawyer. I'm going to give this a 4 snowflake movie.
Oh, okay. Again, I can never predict where you're going. It
doesn't
sound like you're giving it a 4.
No, there's a little bit of pieces here and there that doesn't add up for me, but at the end of the day, it's a well put together film. It's not a 5-star or a 5 snowflake film. It is a 4. There's if there's something if that last scene hadn't hit me more close to home, it would have been probably a 3.5. So I think that last scene was probably your Oscar moment scene. I think for both people. So that's what we have there for you.
Well, don't end now, because I also have a nominated film I'd like to retouch upon.
What are we talking?
From the animated section as well. I just saw Klaus.
Klaus, yes.
Jesper distinguishes himself as the Postal Academy's worst student and is sent to Smeerensburg, a small village located on an icy island above the Arctic Circle, where grumpy inhabitants barely exchange words, let alone letters. He's about to give up and abandon his duty as a postman when meets local teacher Alva and Klaus, a mysterious carpenter who lives alone in a cabin full of handmade toys. This features the voices of Jason Schwartzman, J.K. Simmons, Rashida Jones, Norm MacDonald, Will Sasso, and Joan Cusack. So this is one, I saw the trailer. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm a little bit of a Scrooge. Christmas movies don't necessarily always do it for me. Some do, yeah. But it's definitely not something where I jump out. I still haven't seen whatever the hell that Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader movie was.
Yeah, that's on your Disney.
Probably never will. Oh yeah, Disney Plus. I don't look at it very often.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. And then they got nominated for the Oscars, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead.
But don't forget, I reviewed it earlier this year.
You reviewed it, and you liked it decently.
I didn't say it was great. I said it was watchable, it was palatable. I think.
What did you give it?
I think I gave it maybe 3.
You gave it 3? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit above you. I was charmed by this. I enjoyed it. I thought I love the animation style. I really do. It's something a little bit differently.
The animation was fantastic.
It's great to look at. Like, if you could take a still frame, I can probably put it on my wall as a poster. I think it's so gorgeous looking. Mm-hmm. The way they kind of tweaked the story of Christmas, which I don't know why I didn't necessarily see coming until a good amount's in. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing, Klaus. I don't know. I just really didn't
with a K instead of a C.
Much thought into it. Norm Macdonald's part is pretty funny at first.
That's what I thought was pretty good.
And even Cusack and Sasso as some of the curmudgeon townspeople. So yeah. I just thought this thing was, it's one of those movies where I highly recommend it for, I think, pretty much all ages. It's gorgeous. It's got the heart in its right place. It's funny. It zips along at a very nice pace. It's not. I'm trying to think as far as like the bad things, because I'm going to go 3.5 for you.
Yeah,
I think it's well worth checking out. It never reaches that next level, and I think it kind of wraps up. It wraps up almost too squeaky clean in the end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Maybe even it being a little bit longer, you could have added to it a little bit more. But I think it's definitely well worth checking out. I thought it was a very nice, sweet film that you can watch right now on Netflix. And you know what? Do like me. It's January. Who cares? Watch it now.
No, you can watch it anytime. Like I said, though, when I watched it, I loved the animation. I thought Norm Macdonald's character was great. Joan Cusack's character was fun. I just thought the romance between the two mains...
that was forced and rushed a little bit.
Forced and rushed. And I didn't understand why they had to force and rush it. Because they could have. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They just didn't want to. They just wanted to get.
They wanted to give him another. Well, they wanted to give him a love. They wanted a love interest. They wanted to give him another reason to stay. You know,
and it was kind of, as you know, it was very forced. So
it is when you step back and you look at it, and go, oh yeah, why did those two kind of fall for each other?
And me,
they did because they had to.
Because me and rom-coms, and it was kind of like a romantic comedy cartoon. But this movie, that's the reason why I probably gave it a 3 because of that.
That's almost why I said like maybe if this was actually a little bit longer and you'd given me a little bit more of even the townspeople. Give me a little bit more as to why they hate each other.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more of these two as a couple. Give me a little bit more of even Klaus.
Correct.
J.K. Simmons doesn't even talk that much, actually.
No.
He's silent for the first few scenes, and then, he finally has his revelation, which is quite nice. But yeah, it was almost just like,
that's a tender story that I wanted to explore a little bit more as well.
Yeah, it really was. His wife.
Yeah, so, but no, so that wraps up our reviews, I believe. Yeah, so the next up, I want you to introduce this one because you're the one who told me about it. We talked about it earlier. It's the album of Eminem.
Oh.
It's on the other side of the page. I do double sides, so we save environments. But yeah, so you're the one who told me about this. Tell me a little bit about it, and then I'll jump in when it's time.
Jump in as soon as you want. I don't have much to say. So Eminem has his new album. As we said, it's Songs to be Murdered By. So, of course, it's something you want to grab your little ones, your little nieces, nephews, and listen to the new Eminem joint. Are you gonna maybe pull up a sample?
No, we're not going to do the sample. I just wanted to get the playlist up so I can look at it and tell you what songs I thought were very enjoyable.
Okay, let me know, because I was a little underwhelmed by this.
Really?
There's a couple I think I could find myself listening to again. I actually like the Ed Sheeran one.
Yes, that's one of the ones I was looking at. This album though does have to come with some controversies because he does make a talk about Ariana Grande's concert in Manchester about the blowing up outside. Basically talking about making fun of that, not making fun of it, but just bringing it up to light, and people got all bent out of shape for that. I think he made something about a WWE reference. I'm not really sure.
Oh, really?
I just got to find it again. Because the man, I gotta say, I don't know, how old is this? How old is Eminem at this time?
47.
But okay, so he's.
I'm making that up.
He could be. I don't know how old he is, but the man can rap like nobody's business to this day. And I mean, there is a album. There is a song on here. I wish I could. I wish I would have wrote it down. In which he goes so quickly. I mean, literally, I couldn't even want to sing along with him. If I wanted to sing along with him,
What did I say his age was?
You said 47.
He's 47. I'm a genius.
You were, you're
I just want to throw that out there. Sorry.
Yeah, good, Jeff.
Not a genius, but that was a weird call of mine.
I am a genius. But yeah, there are a few songs I really liked on this album. I thought it was.
Wow, he's 47. Sorry, I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah, but you know what? Get over it.
I was that old.
Yeah, I'm 40 as well. So let's
Holy shit, you're home.
yeah. But anyway, Mr. Whippersnap, let me tell you, I just thought it was, the album is a very dark album. It's all about death. It's all about...
Songs to be murdered by is a dark album?
Well, some people might think it's a joyful album. I'm not sure.
Sure, maybe that was one of the things I had to wrap my mind around too, was okay, knowing what you're getting into.
Track, the Darkness track. It's a very good song, but it's also, if you know somebody who was a part of the Las Vegas sniper shooting, it might be a little painful to listen to. They do talk about that. He isn't afraid to talk about things, and that's a good thing, because you have to have a little bit of communication. Don't forget, we can get this part of the darkness right there. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, on this though, the Ed Sheeran song that we love, that was Those Kind of Nights. That was that. The track after that. And then after that, In Too Deep is also another good one. The Godzilla one.
I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep. Oh no,
that's not the right one.
Was that Sum 41?
Yeah, I think it was. But Godzilla, not the one by Kesha, but Godzilla. Is also
has a Godzilla song?
Yeah, she has one. If I were to date Godzilla, that one.
No,
you never. If I were to take home Godzilla, you listen to that. I'll play it for you later.
Cool.
Because it's funny.
I'm interested. Sadly,
but it was also featured Juice WRLD. That was a great one. Darkness, very heavy, very like.
I haven't heard much of Juice WRLD lately. What's he up to?
I guess he's doing Godzilla with the Eminem is what he's up to. That's the best I got. Is it a guy or a girl? I don't. Is it a girl?
I think he died.
Oh, I
was making a really dark joke.
Well, it's possible then. I couldn't answer these questions. I don't know much, but if he's alive or dead, he's now in this song, so that means he's doing well. There's a song about, and then you have. Are you all right over there? Are you breaking down? Are you breaking down?
I keep talking.
But yeah, there's so many decent things. No Regrets with Don Toliver was a great one. Farewell is an awesome little song. But yeah, I could go on and on about it. I am actually enjoying this album. I like how they have a little bit of cut of Alfred Hitchcock as well. In it. So I just think it's kind of it's a different way. It's a different take on an album. I still want to see him in concert. So if he ever goes on deal, we will.
I'll join you
because I hear he puts on one hell of a show.
I'll join you.
And but yeah, this album I will give it because this is my first 2020 album of the year, thanks to you. And it probably would have hit me, but I just was not looking for anything right away. But Songs to Be Murdered By, I will give this I'm going to get it a 4. A nice 4 solid snowflakes out of 5. Very good.
I'm gonna give it 3. It's one of those mixed albums for me. A couple of things didn't hit for me. Some of the shooting stuff, I don't know. I'm not trying to be sensitive by any means, but I'm just gonna get into it. But there are a couple of good songs I think are worth listening to. Again, I think if you're a fan of him, as you said, his rapping skills are undeniable to a large degree. So it's a decent album.
Yeah.
And Juice WRLD, by the way, R.I.P. We apologize.
Is he alive? Or
No,
dead?
R.I.P.
Oh, okay.
R.I.P. means rest in peace.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, it doesn't
Man,
mean
there's a lot of people that
rock in the
I got it.
party.
Oh, rocking in the party. Yes,
Yeah, there you
he was rocking. When did he pass? If you don't mind, I know. Just to help our listeners know when he passed.
December 8th.
Oh, this year.
Last year.
Or last year, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it
a
was
little over a month.
okay. Well, unfortunately, we only got to see a little bit more light from him from this song. So, anywho, the next thing we're up to is
The Academy Awards?
what? It's already time for that time of year. The
That time of
Academy
year, my
Awards.
friend. Live Sunday, by the way, February 9th, 8 o'clock.
On your
Don't tell my work, but I did ask for the night off.
local listings. ABC. Check your local channel. Because
For me, it's been always Channel 7.
well, in some areas, most ABCs are 7 for some reason.
Good.
It's strange, but let's. Where do you want to start? You want to start with screenplay? We'll go backwards and then work our way up to the leading role.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, we should end with, and then end with Best Picture, though.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
Where's
You know.
Best Picture?
It's in there. It's in the middle column of our notes.
Oh, I see, okay.
I kind of highlighted everything that I thought we would talk
I
about.
agree with all the highlighted, by the way.
Well, thank you. Well, you and I hang around enough to know what we think is more important.
We're bad. Sorry, sound mixing.
Yeah, in film editing. I apologize as well. Okay, can I just say this? I'm looking at the film editing right now.
Oh, we're going to talk film editing?
Well,
Where is
just
this?
for like 2 seconds. It's
Yeah,
right up.
okay.
It's right up. Okay, where is 1917? Where is that?
Ooh, I don't know if I agree with you.
Even though it's a one shot, but there was there were some seamless edits to make
It's
it look
seamless
that
edits,
well.
but at the same time, while that does take skill, not as many edits as other movies, so I could see why it didn't get nominated. For real.
I know, I understand, but I'm just saying, why not? It's so seamless. I didn't even think about them until I just looked at that. So, okay, maybe that's what they're thinking too,
Let's go with, as you said, original screenplay.
Original
Your nominees are Knives Out, Marriage Story, which you just mentioned, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
Wow, all those are great films. You know what? I'm going to give some love because it needs to be loved. Knives Out, one of my top. You know what was funny? I'm looking at all this right now. 1, 2, 3. Three of these movies are in my top 10. Okay, so I can't say anything really bad. But
Two of them are in mine.
But Knives Out, I will think, deserves it. Original screenplay, those are tough, but I can't disagree with any of these at the moment.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with any of them. No, they're all seem to be well-made films. Some of these I haven't seen, but from what I've heard, from you and others, I'm not going to disagree by any means.
Yeah.
So, as far as winner will go, any ideas?
Yeah, I'm going Knives Out. I can't.
Did you say that already?
Yeah, Knives Out. It's all right. No, it's all right because I kind of went over them. But yeah, Knives Out. I think Rian Johnson put together a great, possibly epic, future of movies with that one right there, Knives Out. And I think that could help start a whole bunch of stuff for it. So
just for sharing the love's sake, I'll go with Knives Out as well because when I think about this, I obviously want to think about actual writing, the screenplay of it. It had great character work between everyone. It is juicy dialogue. Keeps you kind of guessing to a large degree. Clever. So yeah, I'll go with Knives Out as well.
Okay, so the next one is adapted screenplay. This has The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and The Two Popes. Now, I haven't seen Two Popes yet, but where do you fall on this one? So that's the only one out of this I haven't seen. So the Two Popes I have not seen, but
I haven't seen Popes or Women.
So I don't know. I'm going to go with, and I think this is where they're going to do a little mea culpa. This is my thought process. They're going to do a mea culpa with Greta Gerwig, and they're going to give it to Little Women. I don't know if that's what it should happen, but that's what I will go with. Little Women, I enjoyed that film. I thought her rendition. I think Jojo Rabbit is a great second. I won't be upset if Jojo Rabbit wins, but I would think it'd have to be between Jojo Rabbit and Little Women because I just thought the rendition, the adaptation of, say, Little Women was good. I've never read Jojo Rabbit, but I just find that.
I'm gonna go with your second pick. I'm gonna go with Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
I just think again, as far as screenplay goes, it's a great, clever idea. I thought it was well adapted. I don't know. It's based off a book, probably, obviously. So
Yeah.
if there is much more to the story, they picked the right parts to go with then, because I didn't feel like, oh, I'm missing a little bit for this or that. I absolutely love the movie, and yeah, I'm going to go with that for my pick.
And you know, a little footnote on this is that I was reading a story the other day by with TW was giving an interview. I don't, me and his name.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Still so probably wrong, but they were talking about how they got the Beatles. I Want to Hold Your Hand in the film. You remember that film? The song. It's sung in German though. They said that they had to get approval, not just from Ringo Starr, but from Paul McCartney and Yoko Ono, and somebody I can't remember who owns the rights to the music as well, to say okay, let's do it. And he had to describe in a pitch. This is before the script was even made. He had to describe what he was going to be doing with this song, and all of them bought in. And I think it works. That's so. I'm very happy that they all decided to take a risk on art, and that's why that's how that song is in there. A little nugget that I was told about. Through great journalistic integrities of other people. So,
can I throw in another category?
Yeah, throw in another one, brother. That's what we're here for.
Let's talk documentary, because I want to give plugs to the documentaries out there.
Okay.
You have American Factory, The Cave, Edge of Democracy, For Sama, and Honeyland.
Did you see all of these?
I saw all of them 3 times over. I've seen none of these.
Well, that's why I did not do that, because I didn't see any of these. You can see, The Edge of Democracy. You can see Honeyland. And I believe maybe American Factory on either Prime or Hulu. The Cave, I believe you might be able to see that as well on Hulu. So there's always, you can still...
You had to guess.
If I had to guess, American Factory, Barack Obama.
I'm going to go with For Sama, because I feel like during the nominations with Issa Rae and John Cho, no one clapped for Sama.
Well, because no one knows. But I'm saying American Factory has a little bit of a little bit of steam behind it. It's kind of almost like an Inconvenient Truth, whereas you had Al Gore putting that out there. I believe American Factory is also done by the Obama's production company. So you have...
Thanks, Obama.
You have...
No, really, thank you, Obama.
Yeah. Barack and Michelle Obama's production company put this out. This is part of their new deal that they did. So
now, can you name all the directors from the director category?
Well, are we going to hold that for Best Picture and then directing, almost like?
No, you want to do it that way?
Yeah,
all right.
We'll go to the animated films.
Talk to me, buddy.
Let's go to animated films. I like animated feature films. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Claws, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. Now, I know you had, The Hidden World and Toy Story. Were they not in your top 15?
They were in my top 15, and that's why I'm very glad to see... Toy Story was pretty much a given, or to a degree anyway.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Dragon getting some props as well, because I thought that ended up being very sneakily... I think
it was actually one of the better ones.
One of the best trilogies that we've had in a while.
The third one was better, I think, than all of them.
Arguably, sure, man. I have a hard time ranking them, because they're all, pretty darn good.
I'm still upset about Missing Link. I'm still not understanding why this got nominated.
What else got snubbed then, though?
Well,
do you have a snub?
I know that... No, not really. Maybe Pets 2.
No.
Well, I'm just saying.
If
you have Missing Link, you could put almost anything Abominable in there.
Maybe Abominable.
Abominable had a great deal.
Some may say Frozen.
Frozen 2 was snubbed. I don't even know if it's even in Best Original Song. I think they got that for...
They got a song, right?
They got a song along with Toy Story. So...
Into the unknown.
So what are you thinking on this one? Because this was basically up for grabs. I'm going to call this the up for grabs category of animated films this year. Because you got Klaus, we just talked about. I Lost My Body. We also talked about that one. 2 movies that you didn't think were going to be put in.
Yeah.
But snuck in.
Klaus was a surprise, but a pleasant surprise.
This is Netflix's year, it seems. As Netflix is getting all these great nominations. Where you stand on this one? I mean, this one's going to be...
I'm going to go with the one that cracked my top 5 or 6. Can't remember. Toy Story.
Yeah.
I just thought this one was beautiful. I wonder how many films with the word 4 in it have ever won. Because it's got to be a short, if not non-existent list.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm not gonna, even though Missing Link won a Golden Globe for again payment somehow. I'm gonna just say somebody was paid heavily for these things. But I am going to go...
The Taurus with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie won Best Picture?
Yeah, I don't understand that either. But I'm going to go with How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, because I'll be honest, after you really look at it all, yeah, Toy Story 4 has a great hook and a great thought, but I don't know, there's something about, when I just closed my eyes when we were talking about it, and all that movie just started seeping back into my brain, and I thought it was a brilliant film. So there you go. How to Train Your Dragon is my prediction. Yours is Toy Story 4.
Now we have actress in supporting role. We have Kathy Bates, Richard Jewell, Laura Dern, Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh, Little Women, and Margot Robbie in Bombshell.
This is going to be difficult. I've not seen Kathy Bates. That's the only performance I did not see for Richard Jewell.
She's great in it. I do wonder, though, if it's enough of a role. As far as, really scene stealing here.
Yeah.
Dern, I think, ran away with some of her scenes. Johansson, again, kind of ran away with some of her scenes.
Yeah.
Robbie's got some juicy stuff. Bates had some good juicy stuff.
And
But
Florence Pugh has
there's
a great...
two scenes that I think got Bates nominated.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's enough.
And I think the same with Florence Pugh for Little Women. She did a great performance. There's some powerful scenes that she has to put in as well. Very delightful.
Good year for Florence Pugh, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 big movies.
Fighting with My Family. And I would say, as far as I didn't like the movie all that much, that wasn't my camera. Midsummer, she is great in it. I probably would have given it an even lesser review with a lesser actress.
Yeah. And then she had Little Women. So, yeah, it's her year, but I am not going to give it to her. I'm gonna, as you know, my ScarJo, and we don't get along, ScarJo and I, but I will give it to her for Jojo Rabbit. I enjoyed her performance in Jojo Rabbit, and I just fell in love with that performance.
I'm definitely not going to argue with ScarJo winning. Although I am going to argue because I'm going to go Laura Dern. I think she's won a couple things already.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those very interesting performances that you don't necessarily see from coming out of her, and she's definitely memorable in a movie that has star-making performances from Joe and Driver as well. So I'm going to go with Driver, partly just the devil's advocate here.
Okay, so you're going to go with Laura Dern then?
Did I say Driver?
Yeah, you did say Driver.
Adam Driver for Best Supporting Actress. I'm calling it right now.
Okay, good.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. So the next one we're gonna go with is Best Supporting Actor, because we're gonna jump around because I think supporting actors need to be looked at first before we go into the bigger pieces of the pie.
And also the way we've been reading it off this piece of paper, it's the one that's next anyway.
No, it's not actually. If you were to go up from where we were.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, actor to
Never mind.
Somebody needs to go back.
I can't read.
Hooked on Phonics did not work for me, but
What?
yeah.
Hooked on Phonics, I put a U in hooked and Phonics with an F.
I did that all the time. Suffixes killed me when I was learning them. Actor in a supporting role is our next category. This has Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes, Al Pacino for The Irishman, Joe Pesci, The Irishman, and Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You and I agree. Al Pacino should never, or maybe, I don't want to say never, but should not have been nominated for this part.
What? James?
What a hoo-ha, wah, Cinnabon,
Motherfucker.
Yeah. And, I don't really know. I'm trying to go through my best. Sam Rockwell could be put in there. For Jojo Rabbit.
You know what he could be put in there for?
He could also for
Richard Jewell.
For Richard Jewell, as far as I could hear. But yeah, I just think that Al Pacino, I don't know what it is with this Irishman film. I really don't. But Joe Pesci did put a great performance in for it. Way better than an Al Pacino, better than a De Niro. So I can understand.
Just different, more scene grabbing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Anthony Hopkins, I can't really formulate because I haven't seen The Two Popes. I will be watching it. I just haven't had a chance yet. I was trying to cram a lot this weekend in, and I just couldn't.
Hurry up before The Three Popes comes out next year.
No, I can't. Or the other one with Jude Law on HBO, the other Pope. But yeah,
That's the prequel.
Yeah,
The Young Pope.
Yeah, the Young Pope. Yeah. So yes, the Young Pope of the Two Pope. So I'm gonna go with this, and I predicted
Good time to be a
this.
pope.
You and I discussed this earlier, I believe in October, maybe a little earlier. I think whenever it came out. But it was, I said, Brad Pitt, this is your award. because Brad Pitt to me put in the best supporting actor role I have seen from him in a long time. I mean, he's such a great character actor. He really had a lot of chops with this one. They gave, for carte blanche. And I enjoyed every ounce of his deal. And again, I'm not a Tarantino fan, as you know, but this was well written for him. And he put it together and made me love that character even more. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, kind of similar to what I just said. I can see that being a very possible play out. I think he's won stuff already. I'm going to go with my man, T. Hanks, though. I'm going to go with Tom Hanks. I think, the Academy hasn't given him anything in a very long time, so I'm glad to see him get nominated. And I thought this was a really good role that I think he really got sunken into, and it was a tricky role, too, because I think, again, if by a lesser or even just different actor, they would have gone either too over the top, too or underplayed. I think he plays it just right. Both I think are very scene-grabbing performances, though, and both very good examples of playing it right, too, because I think even Brad Pitt's character, too, could have gone
either way,
more over or more under, and he plays it right down that smooth, even keel. So both are good choices here. I just refuse to ever vote against Hanks. So
well, I understand, in your love, and I thought about him too, but again, Brad Pitt to me put a little bit more into it to me.
Next up, we have our women
in a leading role.
Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Cerise Ronan, Little Women, Charlize Theron, Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger for Judy.
This is where I have a lot of beef. The actress for leading roles, this is where I have a lot of beef. Awkwafina snubbed for her performance in The Farewell. And tell me if I say it wrong or tell me if I say it right. Lupita Logano? Or Logano?
Hold on, stop.
From Us.
I know, stop talking before I screw it up.
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Okay, well, I was not that too far off.
You threw an L. You're right, you weren't too far off.
Yeah, so I look at it this way. She could have been nominated for Best Actress for her character in Us. So there's a few people that I like Charlize Theron. She did a great job playing Megyn Kelly. Good for her, but it wasn't much of a character. She wasn't in it very much. She was here and there. Sharing the screen time with everybody. So they thought, well, okay, so Charlize Theron, her production company put this together. So let's give her a nod possibly for it. Then you have, I'm not gonna go against Saoirse Ronan because I think she did a great job. Renee Zellweger did a great job. Cynthia Erivo, Erivo, I love her. I haven't seen this film, but I love her as an actress. We've loved her since we've seen her in Bad Times at the El Royale. We knew that something good was coming down the pike, so I'm hoping this is good for her too, because this is a good thing came down the pike. So maybe Scarlett.
I've heard she's the best thing about it. I've heard that's why there's no nomination outside of her.
Yeah, and then this is where I have that Scarlett Johansson deal, where I think maybe she shouldn't have been looked at in this one, and one of those other ones, like I said, Lupita or Awkwafina, could have stepped up into this part, because those were some great performances done by these ladies. And like I said, when I watched The Farewell with Awkwafina, I was unbelievably gobsmacked of how good and talented she really is as an actress. That showed me so much in that film. And,
well, guess what, Dutch? Aquafina's not going to win. So who's going to win?
Well, did you have any snubs in this in particular deal?
I'm going to talk snubs afterwards.
I just think, though, while we're in this category, open it up.
I don't know nothing off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
But yeah, so if I'm going to say...
No, other than Awkwafina, as you said.
I'm gonna pick one. My heart says I want Saoirse Ronan to win it because I think she's a great, talented actress. But I'm going to go with another great performance. I'm going to say Renee Zellweger. She did great in Judy. I enjoyed that film. I thought she nailed her, to a T. Again, it's not like a mimic thing, but, because she didn't try to sing or sound like her, but she got all her mannerisms down. And that's always a good thing for an actress. But again, it was a powerful performance as well. But again, another one, Saoirse Ronan and Cynthia Erivo, I would love to see win as well. I don't know. There's so many, but like I said, we could have thrown two of them out, and I would have been, it would have been more tight to me.
Well, guess who I'm picking?
Who?
I'm picking the girl that you don't even want in the damn race. I hope on Oscar night I look you in the eyes and they say the winner is Scarlett Johansson. I'm going with ScarJo. I think she is heartbreakingly good. This is her year to put naysayers like you to rest. She was fantastic in Jojo Rabbit. Twice nominated. Only a handful of actors can say that of all time.
I understand.
And she can.
But the thing is, though, she could be a double loser. I want to see her win for...
Sure, I mean, many people are...
But I want to see...
Meryl Streep, Leonardo DiCaprio.
But I'm just saying, though, I want to see... I don't mind her winning for Jojo Rabbit, but as for her performance wasn't as strong. If you were to say apples to apples right now, we'll say apples to apples because that's what they are, women in this category. You have to look at Lupita's against Scarlett Johansson. Who would you?
ScarJo.
You did you watch The Farewell with Awkwafina?
No, but obviously the Academy agrees with me.
But no, not everybody.
I'm joking.
Not everybody. You know what I'm saying?
The Academy agrees with me.
This Academy. Yeah. This racist Academy.
Wow. Come on, man. Us was a horror film in March.
Sexist. A very sexist Academy.
This is the best actress, so this has nothing to do with sex.
I'm saying they do it all over the place. In this
no, that's fine, but not this category, obviously.
This category is not this one.
It's not genderly possible.
But again...
Now, if Adam Driver got nominated, it would be...
I only see, and we're gonna say one of any ethnicity in this group that put in some great performances. So... Oh well, let's just go on. The next...
You're very woke.
I am a very woke individual until I fall asleep in a minute. Actors in a leading role is our next deal. We have Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. We have Leonardo DiCaprio
I was going to say...
in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Adam Driver, I know his driver, but he is in Marriage Story. Joaquin Phoenix in Joker. And we have Jonathan Pryce, The Two Popes. Again, what is with The Two Popes? I mean, they're all over.
It's obviously a good movie. We need to watch it.
Great job, Netflix, I'm just going to say. Because they got two, other actors in these films. Where do you stand right now?
I love this category. I mean, both categories have some heavy hitters, actors. I wouldn't be mad at anyone here. I think it's a battle between the middle three: DiCaprio, Driver, and Phoenix. Specifically, Phoenix. I think the fact that we had Joker win, or an actor, Heath Ledger, win for Joker in supporting role, now in leading role, that's pretty dope. I don't know how many times that's happened. I love to check fact that. How many times has someone won for a character 1 year for supporting, another year for lead? Yeah. I don't know if that's ever happened.
I don't think it's ever happened.
So, I think it's well worth it, man. Like, this is actually, to go back a little bit to screenplay, I don't know if Joker should have been screenplay nominated.
No,
because I feel like it's very much a performance and a directing movie.
But we had to write that script to get that performance, so I can see how that got done.
Part of it, though. I mean, it's not the most... I don't know. Like I said, yeah, you had to write the script, but there's also just scenes where it's him and him dancing, and that I don't know if that's in the script totally. Yeah. So
and Ford v Ferrari, I don't know where that would have been put in there. I don't know if it was an adaptation of a movie or whatnot, but I'm just trying to. I don't know anything for screenplays. What was adapted, what's not adapted.
That's got to be.
But this one though,
that's got to be a snub, right, Bale?
Christian Bale, yes. Even Matt Damon was
me.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you feel about old Matty Matt.
I love Matt Damon, actually.
Way better than Ben Affleck, but actually Ben Affleck has more awards. There you go. But yeah, I gotta tell you, those the performance done by Bale, I think was snubbed along with Matt Damon. But I'm gonna just go. But what we have on this list, though, I'm gonna have to say it's very tough. To go with it. I need to see Jonathan Pryce's performance really to tell you the full verdict, but I'm going to go on a limb. I tell you who I want to win, but I think is going to win is what we're doing. I'm going Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory is going to take the Oscar home. With him, I would love to see Joaquin win it, but I think he's got the SAG, he's got the Golden Globe, he's got some others, but Pain and Glory, I haven't seen the movie, but it looks as though, as far as I could tell anybody who's seen it, Antonio Banderas is just unbelievably good in this. His best.
I think he just proved the point, though, as to why Joaquin's walking away. He's got all those, finished the trifecta, or not even the trifecta, but the whatever.
The Triple Crown, or whatever they call it. Yeah, just go after it. But yeah, go for it. But, I'm going to go with Antonio. I'm just going to go to a limb. I know who might win. Like I said, I want Joaquin to win, but I also think I'm going to go with the winner, so we'll go with that. So, what else we got for me, boss?
Well, I just did that, so we got directed now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you name the directors? Because I can.
Without messing them up?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, let's go with the... Okay, you just name the film, and I'll see if I can come up with it.
Okay. For directing the nominations, they are The Irishman,
That would be Scorsese.
Martin,
Yes.
Joker,
Phillips, but I think his name's Todd.
correct.
Hey, there you go.
1917.
Oh, man, this is where I always screw up. Sam Mendes, because you lectured me about Sam Raimi all the time.
Yes. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Quentin Tarantino.
And Parasite.
I'm going to go on a limb and say it was some Korean dude by the name of Boone.
Boon Jong-ho.
There you go. So I just don't remember the rest of the part.
Not bad. You did better than I thought you were.
Yeah, so I'm not bad with some names. Now I don't try it if I don't really know it. So that's a great field. I've seen them all. I love them. I love them all except for The Irishman. I can see. I don't know why. I think because Scorsese gets just the benefit of the doubt. But no, in this film, I don't know. What do you think, man? Because I really don't know. I can tell you who I think. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go 1917, best director.
Mendes.
Yes, we're gonna go with Mendes on that.
I'm gonna go for one of your other movies that you really enjoyed. I think Boon Jong-ho's got a good chance.
He has a good chance.
The look of the film seems to be quite unique, and yeah.
It's a good storytelling. It's a great cut in action. It has great the way it's shot parallels pretty well the classes by keeping them separate off a screen. If you ever look at anything, they're never in the same line. The rich or the poor. They're always separated somehow. There's a table between them. There's just space in between. You know what I'm saying? They're never together. And that's what I find that's what I find that's an interesting concept. So yeah, I would put it past Parasite for getting best director. Mr. Boone, what's his name? Boone
Jong-ho.
Jong-ho. Okay. See, I still screwed that up, and you just told me about it. The next one, I get the honor, and just
You kind of stole it from me.
I'm sorry. Sound editing. I know you really wanted it. Ford v Ferrari, Joker. 1917, yeah, we're going there, buddy. Sound editing, because I don't know the difference between sound mixing. But it's not highlighted. It's on your bottom row, toward the top. Which we always have this figure. What's the difference between sound editing and sound mixing? Very little, I'm thinking. Maybe a knob extra.
There's an editing guy out there right now that's cursing you right now.
Oh,
really, asshole? You know what mixing and editing is there?
I think there's an extra knob somewhere they turn. I don't know. I'm going to go with that. But
talk to sound editors.
Yeah. You know what? They should have their own. Don't they have their own? The tech thing? They just let them be on their own and off TV. You know? Do what they do in the Tonys. You know? Give the unimportant awards that people don't watch away on the commercial break. Okay? That's how you do it. Learn.
Oh, it should be there's the Technical Awards, like you said.
Yeah, or something, and just go over a long list real quick. But anyway, we're not doing sound editing, buddy, because I know you know the winner of that one already. But
wait, what's the winner of that one?
We don't know, because we're not caring. I was just messing with you.
Star Wars.
Star Wars? No, I'm going to go with Joker. No, Ford v Ferrari would be a good one, sound editing. So anyway, you know what? I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to give you the honors, my friend. Do the honors. Do the honors.
All right, visual effects. Oh, no, was done with that joke.
Damn, which is Lion King. Go ahead. We're going with the best picture.
All right, so best picture nominees are Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and Tyler Perry's A Medea Funeral.
You know what? I was shocked with that nomination. And I think the world has actually, it almost tilted on its own axis at that moment, going, what? No, you know? And
I would be long dead if that was nominated for Best Picture. But no, I think this is a great class.
It is a great class. I can't argue with any of these. What movie could have made it? I don't know. Because everyone that's on my top 10 happened to be in this category.
My only slight kind of contradiction, or however you want to put it, is if you got 9 nominees,
make it 10.
Make it 10.
But I think they would have break the vote. You got 9.
Give some love to Farewell or whatever number 10 was, you know? Yeah. So, I don't know, Knives Out. Like, if you're going to do 10, You know.
But see, here's where we all go wrong. You know, with the thought process, and I don't know if you're with me on this, but look at the best directing and best picture. Should not all those directors? And I know that's a lot, but I'm saying take what you have at the best picture. They should automatically be done for best directing then.
We've had this discussion. I actually do disagree with you.
I know you do, but I think to me it makes a lot of sense.
Is there anyone missing?
Yes, there is. Again, the men's club is missing Greta Gerwig. Okay, from Little
But
Women.
it's not though. This year, all the directors are nominated for Best Picture.
That's what I'm saying. But you have in other ones who they should have just let's trickle over to the best director. Then you would have had a woman as well because there's all the boys club over there in the directions category. And so to me, it's just like again, the boys club nominating what they do. So best picture wise, I love them all. I love them all, but the one that I have to say is my number one on my top 10 of the year. I'm going to still stick with it because I'm going to go with this. And what I said was going to win for directing. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And I wouldn't be surprised if Parasite does sneak up on the rails. I'm going to go with 1917 as your best picture of the year. Though I would love to see something different win like Ford v Ferrari because I enjoyed that immensely. But yeah, because I think Ford v Ferrari was my number 2, I believe, or number 3. I can't remember off the top, but
I'm going with the dark horse, my friend. It's not going to happen, but I'm going to say let's see it happen. Joker.
Little Women?
Let a comic book film win the Best Picture of the year.
I don't know
if it happens. It is okay based on a comic book character originally, although it is just about a depressed guy.
Yeah. I don't really call it a comic book film.
Well, I'm just saying that it stems from a character that we've all known in comic book lore.
I know.
And it does have the wings in it and stuff like that. So
yeah, I understand that, but I still just don't like the idea of it being called a comic book film because to me that gives it a stigma.
And it shouldn't though.
And it shouldn't, but
I understand what you're saying for sure, but
because all films should be considered as films and not just
Martin Scorsese.
Well, no, Martin Scorsese is still saying why is the Joker nominated?
I know that's what I'm saying.
So anyway, that is what we believe. You're gonna go with the Joker. I'm gonna go with that 1917 film. So we're gonna go with that. Okay, boss. So that you want to do a recap real quick, or are we going to go to the next round?
You do it. I didn't mark anything down. So.
Okay, so we for best adapted screenplay, Jordan has Jojo Rabbit. I have Little Women. Original screenplay, we both have Knives Out. For animated feature film, Jordan has Toy Story 4. I have How to Train Your Dragon and the Hidden World. We have for best supporting role of an actress, Laura Dern. Jordan has for Marriage Story. I have Scarlett Johansson as Jojo Rabbit. Then we have actor in a supporting role. We have Brad Pitt for myself, and Tom Hanks is Jordan has picked. Then for best leading role as actress in a leading role, I went Renee Zellweger for Judy. You went Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story. And then for the leading role, I went Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory. You went Joaquin Phoenix for the Joker. Jordan went with, for Best Director, he's on a limb. He's thinking a dark horse could win it. Parasite. I'm going to go with Mendez for the 1917 film. And as you remember, just 2 seconds ago, Best Picture, Joker by Jordan and 1917 by Dutch. So those what you got. That's our Oscar wrap-up. Hopefully you watch it live Sunday, February 9th on your local listings. Check your ABC. Find out which one that is.
Check that TV guide.
Yes. Now for my favorite time of the year. Favorite time of the day.
Year?
Favorite time of any time when I'm doing this. It's news and notable stuff.
I'll get some new trailers out here for you. I know me and you, we saw this trailer together, actually. I think so, right? Lovebirds?
Yes, I loved it.
Kumail Nanjiani, is it Ray? Is that who's in it?
I can't remember off the top.
I didn't write down any cast.
That's
but at first I thought it was Super 2, but it's not. It does look like Date Night 2. Actually, is what it really looks like. So
Justice.
Oh yeah. I'll hold out some hope for. You know what I mean? I like the two leads and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
we got a trailer for Netflix. Netflix has Mark Wahlberg coming to it soon, and Spencer Confidential. Did you see this one?
I did not get a chance to see that one just
It's
yet.
him and it's the other actor from Us, the husband from Us, Winston Duke.
Okay.
So, it looked alright. It's a Peter Berg movie. Peter Berg, who's I think made some great films, some okay films. So we'll see. He's worked with Wahlberg a lot actually. That's the director who did Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, which I actually really liked. I didn't see it till like a year or two later. But and then Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe.
That looks like one of my movies. I forgot it was even coming out. They've been talking about it for years.
Oh, really now?
It's been about at least 2 years since they've been doing this. And I forgot all about it. I've seen clips. I saw something about, stills from it from years ago. It feels like it's years ago. Maybe it wasn't, but it seems like it has been that long. But now it's coming out, and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah,
it's one of those movies that make you want to watch it.
Fun, wacky ass trailer that I do look forward to seeing myself. If you are still a physical media collector, if you're looking to add to your digital library, January 28th, a few days from now, you can pick up Terminator, Dark Fate, Parasite, as we were talking about before. It's probably how I'm going to see it. I'm actually going to probably rent it on Redbox, probably. Motherless Brooklyn, which we both liked, right?
You wavered on that one. You didn't?
I didn't like it as much as you. Mine's like a 3, and you were like a 4, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, and Ballers, season 5, I believe the last season of Ballers.
The one clip that you did, the one preview. I was trying to remember the name of the movie, Ordinary Love, with Liam Neeson, coming out later on this year as well.
I don't think I even watched it. It looked boring.
It is a very heartfelt tugging of your heartstrings type film. So, go watch it. I'll probably watch it. You'll watch it with me because you have no choice.
They hinted this in the mid-credits scene, and it looks like it might come to fruition. Sony's already in talks of bringing Bad Boys 4 to the screen. Woof. So we had a huge gap between 2 and 3. As long as this one
strike while iron's hot.
As long as this one makes money, yeah, I guess you got to do it. Especially if you're gonna have any kind of action with these two. Like,
oh yeah,
you only got a few years left. Especially with Mark Lawrence, probably.
Oh yeah, because he's
and I can see this.
He's not in shape.
You mentioned before with Hudgens and Ludwig, if they bring them back, it's obviously going to be probably a little bit of the old school, new school mixed. And I said there's other characters they're kind of hinting towards. So I'm mixed on this. We'll see. Don't Breathe co-writer Rodo Segways is set to helm and direct the Don't Breathe 2 sequel. You Can Breathe.
Oh,
That's the name of the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you told me not to breathe. I was like, what happened? Okay.
Stephen Lang is set to reprise his role. The first movie made a big profit, $157 million on a $10 million budget.
We did watch that. We
saw that together, right? And I liked it.
Yeah, I was kind of indifferent with it, but we both said we would be out as soon as they got to the gate. So and then after we got past the gate, we would be out because of the little shimmy hole they wanted to put us through.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of stuff only small people have been through.
Our movie would have been done like within 20 minutes.
Kind of the end of an era in a little bit of a small way. Disney has announced they are killing the Fox name. Now with the Disney and Fox merger, it will no longer be 20th Century Fox or Fox Searchlight. It's just simply 20th Century and Searchlight. You can even start to see it on some of the newer posters, they said. The elements of the logo, and you've seen this logo probably hundreds of times.
Yeah, it's an icon.
Of the big swirling lights and signature fanfare will remain the same. It's just simply Century, you're not
I can understand
them
separating from the Fox name.
Yeah, I just think it's sad, it's something that we've grown up with that, will no longer be seen, and I wonder on, future re-releases if they're going to take it out.
Yeah, that's going to be, that's a lot of money.
That's not what my childhood was.
Yeah, because it's like going back, it's almost like, how Lucas went back into Star Wars and started taking shit out that we liked, and redoing it. So
Spielberg taking out guns, putting in walkie-talkies for E.T.
I'm still upset about.
He redid on that, didn't he? And then, in the next release,
he put it back in. Yeah, he put it back in.
Take your guns, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, we are living in a gun culture, so sure.
This one I think is really cool. Steve Martin and Martin Short, a true crime spoof, has been ordered to series over at Hulu. Yeah. They liked it so much, it does look like it's definitely going to air, so that's cool. Give me more Martin Short. Two guys that I don't think we get enough of.
I did love that little special they did on Netflix together.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was unbelievable. And they were touring, but I could afford tickets to watch that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I didn't either. If you can't afford it, I sure shit can afford it. We mentioned this. We talked about this kind of briefly before. One of our favorite actors from Brockmire, Hank Azaria, he's finally confirmed he will no longer voice Apu. We will never see Hank Azaria voice Apu
Who needs
again.
a Quickie Mart? I do.
So basically, he's saying thank you, but he won't come again.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, he's been voicing Apu literally since 1990-91.
Yeah,
So
since they brought him in.
another Intamin era. Here's one that mixes our two worlds.
Which was?
The Luchador Blue Demon Jr. has
Yes, I
landed
told
a
you, yes.
Disney Channel superhero pilot.
Yes.
That might land on Disney. So that's cool.
That'll be interesting. I want to throw a sad news real quick in. For one of the founding members of Monty Python, Terry Jones died at 77. Great comedic timing. He did a lot of other great movies as well. He directed. It's a shame. We've lost another comedy genius, as it were. So R.I.P. Terry Jones, and we'll miss you. So there you go, my good man.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out and love to Terry Jones. He mentioned Monty Python. Something that I probably was shown actually in high school is when I finally saw it and absolutely loved it.
Which was the Holy Grail or the Life of Brian?
Holy Grail, actually.
Yeah, Holy Grail,
Holy Grail.
Life of Brian is fantastic.
I know, and he's the director of those too.
Yes, absolutely.
Holy
yes.
Grail, Life of Brian, Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life, yes.
He
yes.
directed Personal Services, Eric the Viking, Wind in the Willows, Boom Bust Boom, and the most recently, a few years ago, he directed that Simon Pegg movie, Absolutely Anything.
Yeah, so he was a great talent. We're gonna miss him, but again, he was just a clever, good genius. People always just remember John Cleese and a few others, but he's one of the ones who did, like you said, he went the other way, directed more than not. So we'll miss you, buddy.
Anything else that's important? Because I think
Well, I got a few little news and notes here. Patrick Stewart is asking Whoopi Goldberg to rejoin him in the new series Picard for the second season, because they already re-upped already, and they haven't even launched an episode yet. And so Whoopi is actually considering this.
I know you mentioned Data's coming.
Data's going to be in this. The previews, Riker, Counselor Troy. Also, Altered Carbon Season 2 is going to premiere on Netflix February 27th, and that is all I have on my end.
One more for me. It looks like Quentin Tarantino loves his new universe of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he wants to do a Bounty Law TV show. He's got 5 scripts ready to go, so I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't see Leo doing a TV show. Even if
you gave somebody
5
else.
episodes, and maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see, man. If you're going to the theaters, everybody, in a couple of days, you can check out the movies The Gentleman. Me and Dutch will have a review for you for The Gentleman next week. The Turning, probably not going to have a review for you. And I think in limited release, Last Full Measure.
Yeah, so without further ado, my name is Dutch McAllister, along with
Jordan Pierce Owens.
Have a great evening. Enjoy your day and whatever time you're listening to this thing.
And say something nice to a stranger. Thank you.
Fuck them.